Hey guys, this is a tutorial that's focusing on using MVC3, and we will be going over using the code first approach with MVC scaffolding. This allows you to create web applications for business or personal use in a rapid, agile, and flexible environment. And so to get started, we're going to create a new project. And so I'm just opened up Visual Studio 2010, and you need to make sure that you have the latest version of MVC. MVC4 just came out, and it's currently in its release candidate stages, but for now we're going to be using MVC3, and you can name your application whatever you would like. So I'm going to name this Student Management System. Alright, and we are going to be creating an internet application using the Razor syntax with HTML5 semantic markup. And after you select those boxes, click OK. And let's let our project load up. After your project successfully loads, the first step to create this management system is we're going to start with our model. And starting with your model really means that you're using the code first approach rather than starting with your database and building up. And what's great about starting with your model is we don't even have to work with our database because our model will let our database know of any updates or changes without actually manually having to go in there, which saves a lot of time. And so we're going to add a new class under the models folder. And I'm going to name this class management.cs. And as you can see right here, everything was built up for you, and we're going to change where it says public class management to student. And we're going to create two more classes, one for lecture and one for course. Public class course, okay, and then public class lecture. So our course, we basically want to have one-to-many relationship with lecture and student. And so for each course, there could be several students as well as several lecturers. And so I'm going to start with the course and then go into the student and lecture, which will pretty much be the same code of each other. So anyways, public int, so we need an ID, so course ID, and then get set. And we're also going to need a course name for each course. So we'll do string course name get set. All right. And then public string, let's have a description for each course, and there we go. So in order for us to have one-to-many relationships, of course, with student and lecture, we basically have to make an I collection. And so what we do is we do public string, I collection, and then let's put student in between those brackets, and then we're going to name it students and get set. It's going to be the same exact way for lecture. So public I collection, lecture, and we will name this lectures, get and set. And so our course class is done, and now let's start with our student. So of course for each class we need an ID, so public int student ID get set. Alright, and by putting ID at the very end of any word, and it lets MVC know that basically that is the key, the primary key to that column. And so basically let's add more to the student, so public string student name, or we'll just put name, you don't really need to put student at the end. And then do first name actually, sorry. And then public string last name. Alright, and now we need to link this with the course. So how we do that is we just say public int, and we put course ID to let it know that this is the foreign key of this primary key, and then get set. And then we do public virtual, which allows this to obtain access to the course class, course, and then course, because there is one course per student. Alright, now for lecture, we're going to do the same exact thing, and so to make it easy, I'm just going to copy and paste all of this and change around some stuff. So let's do lecture ID, and then lecture name, and then description, just like we did for course. Oops. Great. After you're finished, what we're going to do is build our model. So go build, and then go into tools, and you need to make sure you have the latest version of Nuget installed. And the resources are below in this video if you have questions about installing that or updating Nuget. And so what I'm going to do is click the Package Manager console, and we're going to install an extension that will allow us to create this just by using create and scaffold this model just by using the command line, which makes it incredibly easy, so you don't have to click this and that. So what we need to do is install package MVC scaffolding, and this is the same syntax: install package and then the package name that will let the package manager console know that you want to install that, such as install package jQuery or install package knockout. If you go to different websites, they'll let you know what the actual name is. Okay, so after it's all installed, let's make sure that we have the latest version of Entity Framework. So let's update package Entity Framework. And so it successfully installed the newest version, 5.0. And now we need to scaffold everything. And so the first step is to scaffold the controller, and we're going to scaffold, let's scaffold course first. So scaffold controller course, and this will automatically scaffold it and create a database based off of our model student. And it takes a little bit. Give it some time. After it completes scaffolding the course controller, now let's scaffold lecture. Controller lecture. And give it some time, and then we will scaffold and do the same for our student. Scaffold controller student. Okay, great. When you guys are finished scaffolding all three of your models, lecture and course and student, we will basically go into our views and then go into our shared folder. And under shared, click layout. Okay, so let's copy and paste where you see these action links, and we're going to create 3 new links that link to our students view and our courses view as well as our lectures. And so in order to do this, we're going to want to go to the index of each controller, and so this is basically the controller and this is the view. And so let's go inside our index, and as you can see, when we scaffold it, it automatically created these folders: lectures, students, and courses. And these are the views: index, edit, details, and delete. So go into your controllers and you can see the names as well. That scaffold a lecture controller, a students, and so forth. And so for our action link for courses, we're going to put right here courses. And we want that to be courses. And same thing right here, we're going to put lectures, and then we're going to put students. And put students, index, and index as well for lectures. And then let's build our solution and run it and see what was made. So if this is your first time using an MVC framework, basically MVC ships out of the box with the following template, which is completely customizable on HTML or CSS, and can use various languages to kind of drive that app even further. And so let's click our courses tab that we just made, and you'll see automatically, give it a second to load. Takes a bit when it's running in debug mode, so I'm going to actually stop since we didn't really write any code, and it should work a little faster. Here we go. So this is basically a blank table that says course name, description, students, and lectures based off of the model we created. And so we're going to create a new course, and let's call this MIS 340, description, blah, blah, write as much as you want in there, and create. And we can create another one, and as you can see, same thing. Let's call this MIS 370, course description, project, create. Alright, so as you can see, there's no students that pertain to our course MIS 340 or lectures, and so we have to create more. So let's click the Students tab and create a new student. So my name is Logan. I'll be the first student. Last name is Head. And we will choose course 1. And later I will be going in depth of how to name this rather than it's show 1 or 2. But 1 basically is MIS 340 and 2 is 370. And so I will click create, and I belong to course 1. Alright, now let's click lectures. We will create a new lecture, and this will go to 1, lecture name, introduction, go over syllabus. Create, and let's go back to our courses, and you can see automatically MIS 340 now has 1 student and 1 lecture. And that completes our tutorial. Thank you for watching, and I will have part 2 and 3 up shortly. Thank you.